What's up guys and welcome back to the channel. I'm Andy the Middle-Aged Gamer and this is the Tokyo Marui Samurai Edge High Grade Review. Now, before we jump into this absolutely amazing piece of kit, usual disclosures ahead. This is an airsoft toy, this is not a real firearm. There are no real firearms in this video or in any of my videos. This was bought and paid for by myself and these are my own opinions based off of my own experiences. So, with that being said, let's jump in. Okay, so let's ask ourselves, what is the Samurai Edge? Well, as you can see, it's a highly customized military model M9. Now, the real story comes back to the mid-1990s when Raccoon City Police Department put out a contract for a new sidearm for their Special Tactics and Rescue Service, or STARS. Of course, Robert Kendo of Kendo Gunshot would actually win that, contract, and sadly would meet his demise in the Raccoon City incident. Now, of course, before then, he would develop this absolute amazing pistol. So, with that being said, let's see what he did, and let's take a look at this. Now, we'll start with the magazine. Okay, so as you can see, the magazine is caliber 9mm Parrot. It's not 6mm BBs, but we know what it means. As you can see, you've got your M92F military model, Tokyo Marui, there on the base plate. Now this will actually, we'll leave that aside, this will fit the extended mags. Any of the M92s from Tokyo Marui will fit this, and that, like I say, get the 32 round mags, they're really cool. Now, first thing Robert Kendo did was to change the grips. He put on the real steel, it would be wood on the Tokyo Marui. These are fake wood, but really good effect. As you can see, it looks really nice with the nice softer inlay for the grip part, and you've got the gold medallion with a deep blue finish on the back. Now that is mirrored on both sides, as you can see. Absolute beautiful piece of kit. Now you do have your standard military model mag release. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we do get to the trigger. Now the trigger guard is massive. Yes, you can fit a gloved hand in there. Again, it was built as a military, sidearm in the real steel world, and so it's matched all of the military requirements there. Now, of course, this is being a double action, single action trigger. Your double action pull is huge. You have a slight take up before you start to pull. As you can see, the hammer going back all that way before bang, which is quite nice. Now, of course, single action mode, trigger goes into its single action mode there, and you have a small take up to the wall, small amount of pass, about 4mm at the moment, 5mm, 6mm, and it'll break. 1, 2, 3, 4 for a reset. You're right at the wall still, and you can pull it straight back. It's really short, and it's definitely a military trigger, not a race trigger. Okay, but really cool. Now, moving on up, you do have your extended slide release, which was fitted on the military and law enforcement side. It's quite nice. Your thumb really does easily get to it. You know, you can just flick it up there and drop it. It's quite nice. Now, of course, we do have our safety here. Now, it is ambidextrous. And one thing I will tell you, this is the decocker and safe. So you click that, trigger goes right back to the beginning, and it is now on safe. You have a dead trigger, so it's not going to fire. But if you wanted to carry it cocked and locked, you can flick that back up. There is in the real steel, there would be a round in the chamber, but now you have that longer pull again, and it's back to the full length of double action pull. Now, having handled many double action pistols, like I say, it's not really a bad pull. What Robert Kendo did was deburr the internals and smooth out that trigger pull. He made it very light, even on a, a double action. I think the closest thing to this is the LEM trigger on the H&K customs, as you would say, or the law enforcement trigger that they use. So yeah, a really good trigger and a really good system there. You do get your full metal, takedown lever here with the button on the rear to press. I'll show you that in a moment. You do have your serial number here, which is engraved into the lower frame, and you've got your STARS, RPD, Special Team, lovely deep serrations at the rear and at the front. Your sight system, as you can see, you have your 3-dot sights, really nice and bright. And you do get your chrome barrel, which is a match grade barrel that Robert Kendo put in there, and this is obviously TM, so you get that kind of performance. Now, your front and rear sights are polymer, but are quite nice. You can buy metal sights if you wish to buy them for this model. Now, let's flip it around. Now, as you can see, US 9mm M9, and then you get the Tokyo Marui. This and here, Tokyo Marui Japan, are for legal reasons. But you also have your model Samurai Edge, law enforcement use only. Matching serrations and your medallion cut. Love that deep hue. It's a nice blue color. Like I say, an absolute beautiful piece of kit. So, let's go get this loaded up and taken out to the range. Okay, I'm using 0.2 gram BBs and green gas with this Samurai Edge Standard Edition. So, that's going to give us a high of 308.7, a low of 298.5, giving us 302 feet per second with 0.2 gram BBs. Okay, let's take the Tokyo Marui Samurai Edge out to 10 meters and let's see what the grouping size is. Okay, these sights are a little bit to the right, but 6 inches by 6. This one's going to be a bit of a larger grouping with 0.2 gram BBs. So, yeah, you're looking about 4.5 inches, which is not bad. You're still going to hit center of mass. Okay, so let's get the Samurai Edge on the Texas Star. Let's see what she's like. Let's step it back to 10 meters and let's see. Take that. Have to push, slow it down. Oh, nearly. Spoiling it now. Come on. Gotcha. No problems taking that on at 10 meters. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so that went well. Now, let's see what the grouping size is. As you can see, let's try and go from here to here. So yeah, let's get it in. So you're looking 2.5 inches. Again, about 2.5 inches. Let's go to that furthest one here just to be safe. Yeah, 2.5 inches as a grouping at 10 meters, which is perfectly fine. So out the box performance, we already know it's Tokyo Marui. You're getting TM. I'm shooting a bit to the right. That's a me issue, not a you or the weapon. So let's get that out of the way. As you can see, we've gone ahead and disassembled this awesome piece of kit. Now, let's do what we always do. Let's start with the frame. Easiest way to do it. One of the big improvements on the high grain is a full metal skeleton inside. So that's why you'll feel this is really heavy. All the way inside this, down to here, is a full metal frame, which is great, covered in a polymer coating to meet Japanese law. Now, let's see, like I say, what they are. Now, obviously, the springs, the hammer is not steel, the sears are not steel, but the springs, the pins, the screws, again, pin there, not there, nope. But the pin is there. Yeah, basically what needs to be steel is, and that's your pins. Your internals are, oh, as you can see that. Yep. So that is absolutely great. You've got full metal inside. It's not steel for everything, but the important parts are. That's more important to me. I prefer it to have it where it needs it and not push it to all be steel, because then you do get a lot of, need to break it in. And that's not what Tokyo Marui are about. They're about great performance out the box. And of course, it does run. I mean, this has had 1,500 rounds through it, and it's been reliable every single time. It's been absolutely amazing. So, let's put that down. Obviously, your magazine's not metal, but it is a beautiful magazine. I do like their work. So, let's move on up. We'll do the recoil spring. That is steel. And you've got your metal, how can I say this? Your metal guide rod, which is another improvement. The last one was plastic and would break. This is now full metal, but that is not. That is aluminum, which is fine and perfectly okay. Now, your barrel, as I say, another one of the upgrades is the hop chamber. This does feature Tokyo Marui's, good booking, hop knob, and in a barrel system, which is great and fully adjustable, unlike the previous versions. So that is another plus. As you can see, you do have your toggle system here, which is really cool. Spring loaded. It gives it that realistic look of it going into battery. So when it's in, you'll see that come down, everything cycle. When it goes into battery, it'll lock there, and that goes up and locks the chamber, which is kind of cool. Well, they slide in place, and then obviously under recoil it would undo. I love the way that it works. I like watching all this stuff. It's kind of cool. Now, one of the other big improvements that would be made is, as you can see straight away, we have now reinforcement inserts placed on the slide to avoid cracking. You can see those pieces put in all the way from the front to the rear. It's a lovely piece. There is a metal insert here in the end cap and goes all the way to here. You then have your metal from here on that side, from there on that side, and that's where your slide will lock on the slide stop. But all this is fully, reinforced, and you do get your 15mm blowback piston, which is important. That gives it the more stronger recoil. It's an absolute beast of a pistol, this, and it feels it. You can feel there's no plate, there's no bend, there's no flex anymore on the slide. They've really fixed their stuff. So to reassemble, just put that back in, slide that right the way back. Choose what you want to do. Then we just grab our recoil spring, slide that in, and if we put it at an angle just so that we can get past, there we go, then we can pull it past like that. Use your finger here, and we can just slide it back into its locking surface there. And that's your slide reassembled. To put it on, it's quite simple. It goes onto the nice full metal rails, lock it past, flick that up there, and then we can just flick that like that, and it works. Quick test, dry fire. Oh, nice. Locks back. So, as you can see, that's where we've got to. That's how you reassemble it. It's really, really simple. And there she is. So, let's go over final thoughts, shall we? For one, guys, I am an avid Resident Evil fan. I've been there since the very beginning on PlayStation, even the director's cut that came out a little bit afterwards, and then you had the full remake on the GameCube. I played all of the Resident Evils. I've collected quite a fair few, and it still to this day blows me away. I really do love the quality of the pistols and the games themselves. So when I heard in September this year that Tokyo Marui were going to discontinue the original, Samurai Edge model, the high grade, and the standard, they were going to be taken, or retired as we call it, and they're no longer going to be doing some of the 1911s, I believe, and the first version of the 226 is ended. We're at that point where I had to go and grab one of these while I could, and yeah, because these are really hard to find anyway. They only make a small batch once a year, and most of them get taken up in Asia. So here in the UK and in Europe, if you see one, grab it and keep it. It's a collector's piece for yourself, but it's also a very good gun, as you can see, for shooting. And with all the reinforcements, I feel happy taking this out and shooting it. I don't feel like it's going to break on me or crack, because these are meant to be used, not just for show, but it's still great to see, you know? So yeah, that's why I picked mine up, but I would highly recommend that you do. You get great performance out the box. There's plenty of aftermarket upgrade parts, such as barrels, hops, and so on, the bookings. You can do quite a lot of good things. So it's going to be entirely up to you. But I really do enjoy it. I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments down below, and what else you would like to see on this channel. Of course, we're entering the holiday season now, and this is a great option as a stocking filler for you guys. So I'd highly recommend. But yeah, definite awesome. So hopefully you agree, and if you do, I'd love to know in the comments down below. I've been the Middle Aged Gamer. You guys have been awesome. I'll see you in the next one.